Listen up, Birds fans, because what we witnessed on Sunday wasn't just another win. It was a statement game that should silence every single doubter who's been questioning our franchise quarterback all season long. And let me tell you right now, this is exactly the kind of performance that championship runs are built on. And we need to talk about it immediately, because the national media still isn't giving Jalen Hurts the respect he deserves after absolutely carving up one of the league's toughest defenses. The Philadelphia Eagles' passing attack has been under the microscope all year, with critics acting like the sky is falling every single week. But what happened against the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday afternoon was nothing short of spectacular. And it proved once and for all that when this offense clicks, there isn't a defense in the National Football League that can stop it. And that includes the Vikings, who came into this game with a reputation for being physical and difficult to throw against, but our guys made them look absolutely helpless out there. Now here's the thing that makes this performance even more impressive. The ground game that we've relied on so heavily this season just wasn't there on Sunday. And that's okay, because championship teams find different ways to win. And that's exactly what happened. Saquon Barkley, who has been absolutely electric since putting on midnight green, managed only 44 yards on 18 carries, which tells you everything you need to know about how locked in that Vikings front seven was against the run. Tank Bigsby added 11 yards on one carry, but let's be real, the rushing attack was bottled up, and in previous years that might have spelled disaster for this team, but not anymore, because we've got weapons everywhere, and a quarterback who's ready to take over games when called upon. Jalen Hurts put on an absolute clinic, going 19 of 23 passing, which is borderline ridiculous efficiency, and he did it for 326 yards and 3 touchdowns against a defense that was supposed to give him problems. And here's what really matters. He didn't force anything. He didn't try to be a hero. He just executed the offense to perfection and let his playmakers do what they do best. And boy, did they deliver. When you complete 82.6% of your passes in an NFL game, you're doing something very, very right. And this wasn't against some bottom-feeding defense. This was against Minnesota, who came in ready to play. Devonta Smith absolutely erupted for 9 receptions and 183 yards plus a touchdown. And if you've been paying attention, you know that Slim has been quietly putting together an elite season. But Sunday was the game where everyone had to take notice, because 183 yards is not just a career high for him. It's the most receiving yards by any player in the entire league this season. And that statement should be echoed from the link all the way to Canton, because our guy just outperformed every single receiver in football on that particular Sunday, and he did it when the lights were brightest. A.J. Brown, who always shows up in big moments, had 4 catches for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. And what's beautiful about this is that defenses simply cannot focus on just one of our receivers, because the moment they try to take away Slim, A.J. is going to absolutely torch them on the other side. And that's exactly what championship offenses look like. You've got multiple weapons who can beat you in different ways, and there's no scheme that can completely shut down both of these elite talents at the same time, and that puts defenses in an impossible situation. The passing offense was absolutely clicking on all cylinders, and this is where we need to talk about the history that was made, because Jalen Hurts didn't just have a great game, he had a perfect game, and I mean that literally. According to Eagles team reporter Matt Ryan, Hurts became just the 3rd Eagles quarterback ever to post a perfect 158. 3 passer rating in a game, and the only other quarterbacks to accomplish this feat in Eagles history are Donovan McNabb back in 2007 and Nick Foles in 2013. And if those names sound familiar, it's because McNabb is a franchise legend, and Foles is the guy who brought us our first Lombardi trophy, so Jalen is now in some seriously elite company. Think about that for a second. In the entire history of this storied franchise, with all the great quarterbacks who've worn midnight green, only 3 have ever posted a perfect passer rating, and Jalen Hurts just joined that exclusive club, and he did it against a playoff-caliber defense on a day when the running game wasn't working, which makes it even more impressive because he had to carry the offense on his shoulders. And he didn't just carry it, he absolutely dominated and made it look easy in the process. It's pretty insane to see any quarterback compile a perfect 158. 3 passer rating in a game, because clearly it's a rare achievement, as evidenced by the fact that just 2 other Eagles quarterbacks have ever reached this level. And here's what makes this even sweeter. Jalen specifically has gotten some flack for the passing offense this season. So this performance is the perfect response to all the noise and all the doubters who keep questioning whether he can win games through the air. And the answer is yes, he absolutely can. And he just proved it on the biggest stage. The Eagles are now sitting pretty at 5-2 on the season, and we're in a great position moving forward. But here's what should really get you excited. Jalen Hurts' numbers are actually pretty insane when you break them down, especially when you consider all the negative buzz that's been swirling around. He's gone 136 for a 195 passing this season, which comes out to 69. 7% completion percentage. And that would be a new career best if the season ended today. And that's not just improvement, that's significant growth from a quarterback who keeps getting better every single year. He's also improved his passing yards per game from 193.5 last year to 214 this year. And while that might not seem like a massive jump, those extra yards per game add up over a full season and show that the offense is evolving and becoming more dynamic through the air. Hurts has 3 straight games with at least 280 passing yards under his belt, which demonstrates consistency and the ability to attack defenses vertically week after week, and that's the kind of trend that should have every Eagles fan excited about what's possible down the stretch. Let's talk about those touchdown numbers because they're spectacular. 11 touchdowns against just 1 interception through 7 games is elite quarterback play, and there's no other way to spin it. And that touchdown-to-interception ratio shows incredible decision-making and ball security, which are the hallmarks of championship quarterbacks. He's not turning the ball over. He's not giving opponents short fields. He's just executing at an extremely high level and protecting the football like his life depends on it. On top of all this passing excellence, he's also been excellent in the running game with 185 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns, which means defenses still have to account for his legs every single play. And that dual threat ability is what makes him so difficult to defend, because you can't just drop 8 in coverage, and you can't just sell out to stop the run, because he'll beat you either way. Those 5 rushing touchdowns lead all quarterbacks and show that when the team needs points in short yardage situations, Jalen is going to get it done, and that's invaluable for an offense. If Jalen can keep playing like this, and there's every reason to believe he will, because he keeps improving and elevating his game, the Eagles are going to win a lot of games down the stretch, and he's going to start getting some serious buzz for MVP consideration and other hardware later in the season. And honestly, he deserves it, because he's been one of the best quarterbacks in football this year, and Sunday's performance against Minnesota should be the game that changes the narrative nationally. This is championship-caliber quarterback play, and it's happening right now in Philadelphia, and we need to appreciate what we're witnessing, because franchise quarterbacks who can beat you in multiple ways don't grow on trees. And Jalen Hurts is showing everyone that he's not just a good quarterback. He's an elite one who can take over games when the team needs him most. The future is incredibly bright, and if the passing offense continues to evolve like this while the defense keeps playing at a high level, this team has all the pieces necessary to make a deep playoff run and compete for the ultimate prize. The national media needs to wake up and start putting respect on Jalen's name, because he just joined Donovan McNabb and Nick Foles in Eagles history, and those are 2 names that will forever be remembered in this city. And now Jalen's right there with them, having accomplished something that legends like Randall Cunningham and Ron Jaworski never did, and that should tell you everything about the level he's playing at right now. This isn't just good, this is historic, and it happened in our house with our quarterback leading the charge. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, so you never miss another update on this incredible Eagles season. Smash that like button if you believe Jalen Hurts is finally getting the recognition he deserves, and drop a comment below answering this question. Do you think Jalen Hurts should be in the MVP conversation right now? Option A, absolutely yes, he's been elite all season. Option B, not yet, but a few more games like this and he will be.